Hello, Charmaine.
Hi, Karen.
We made it.
Yes.
You know what? I'm a firm believer, particularly where we're going with this TV show, is that it's going to be out there. The right people are going to be seeing it. The people that are needing what we offer, and yeah, it's all in the timing. I don't stress over that.
Fine
What we
timing.
want to achieve, it's all the divine timing. So welcome everybody, superstars, to the Karen How TV show week 22. Woo-hoo! And the topic this week is all about dreamers, all kinds of dreaming. Doubt can squash dreams, though. So we're going to talk about that tonight. Now, Charmaine, as a kid, I remember always I was daydreaming or dreaming, and I'd always get told, stop, daydreaming, get on with whatever task you're doing. You're always dreaming. You're a dreamer. And now I'm getting it. And it's quite incredible when you actually do. It's the perception around it, or how it's been perceived in the past.
You were told to stop daydreaming and to pay attention, whereas to pay attention is just, it's stopping the dreaming, the visionaries, the creation and stuff, but to pay attention onto one specific thing.
Yes.
Or something.
And hang on to that thought. So dreamers can get things done, ambitions and aspirations from small to massive. So there's So before we begin, we'll acknowledge the traditional ancestors of the land and the world. So we've taken a bit of a different slant on it just for our show, with which we are all connected. We ask for their permission and we acknowledge them for sharing our one goal, all of us, and that's unity and connection.
Yes, it is.
Thank you. So I'm Karen Howell. For those who don't know me, I'm passionate.
Same.
So much passion about inspiring as many globally. I'm all about reaching the masses. So it's reaching them to, I guess, so they can see their full potential, leaving them feeling more alive, baby, and enabling them rather than them left feeling disabled. Nobody wants to feel stuck or feel that, oh, what's next? Where do I go from here? I can't move. They're just stuck and they just keep pivoting. So to think outside of the box and not be limited. And this is the thing, it's that capping we place on ourselves to that life that is, or potentially going forward was. I mean, that's where we're at. To embrace change and not to be fearful of it. To dream big and go for it no matter what the cost. And that's what I did. I recently published my book, Reclaim Your Life, as that's what I did. I wanted to continue on my path, and I allowed myself to be vulnerable. I allowed myself, it was just, I didn't think about it once I got started. It was like, if I don't get this message out there, or I don't share my message to people, I'm withholding information,
It became more of a mission for you, really, than a message. It was a mission.
It did. And I no longer wanted to hold back that story, what I wanted to share. And that's where I said, no matter what the cost. So I was prepared for people to fall away in my life, Charmaine, because I knew it was time for me to step up. I knew it was time for there'd be other people that would come into my life. And it's all about like-minded people and supporting people that want to be dreamers. And this is what our show's about today, the dreamers, to progress and make a difference in the world. So on a global scale, I don't have time to sweat the small stuff.
Yeah, letting go of that fear.
Yeah. So Charmaine, share your story, beautiful dreamer.
Yeah, I'm the same. So it's the same thing, helping those people who were stuck and they're frustrated and the same thing, like re-empowering them, helping them balance themselves and re-empower themselves when they're feeling stuck through my work, which is soul frequency feng shui, helping harmonize and balance people and businesses' lives, and by heal your life by healing your energy. So empowering you by healing your energy. Balance is everything.
And we all know our mood changes depending on what's going on around us at the time. We know it relates to energy. If you've got somebody that's sucking the life out of you. You know, it's like you might just move away from them and go over here, and then the energy will shift. It just is. And that's something that,
by having a
amazing.
powerful inner energy, you know, you can stay strong in any situation and not be depleted by, you know, people or situations, you know, extinguishing energy in traffic and stuff like that. Like, we wake up with a full battery, but by the end of the day, our battery is empty, and it doesn't have to be that way. We can continuously be renewing ourselves.
That's right. Yes, and you're right. Staying in your own power, and not letting, because most of these things are not about you anyway. It's whatever's going on with that person that day that might just need a shoulder, or, you know, just something that's happened to them that morning. So let's get back to our dreaming, because we're searching and seeking for dreamers. Dreaming big means having the mental freedom. So we've covered this off in previous TV shows, where it's creating space for us to think about what we really want out of our life, and forget about all the reasons why you can't make it a reality, because that's what we do. We go, we want such and such, however, you know, can't afford that, or
people say you're dreaming,
or you're dreaming. Yeah, exactly. That's a common one. Stop dreaming, get real. And you're like,
dreaming is actually creating.
It is.
So
someone can use dreaming big to motivate themselves to see the bigger picture of what they really want in life. And that's just sitting still and taking that time for yourself to know what that is, and look about what's going on around you. I mean, my role in HR, I look at people's skill sets and where they lie. And if they're not happy, you know, I start talking to them about, okay, so what is it out of all those things you do in your day relating to your job that you really get excited about? And then you can start from there, because there's always going to be something. It's the only reason that would be keeping you there, you know, whether it's the people or just an aspect of the role. So I had a vision of Fun Farm, which is out there now, a safe place for people with disabilities to enjoy activities and build their capacity and have fun guarantee. Now, this dream is becoming a reality, because I did see it, Charmaine. It's much bigger. It's going to be massive. Now it's out there with other visionaries that have come on board with the same dream. So they're big dreamers as well. They saw the vision for Fun Farm, and now we're actioning the same dream.
If you can dream it, and if you can feel it and believe it, it'll be so.
And if someone doesn't start that dream, so if they don't have that vision and then get that moving, how would we get anything done in life? How would we, anything that, you know, these creations in life, it started with a dreamer.
We're dreaming in every second. We're creating and dreaming in every second. So dream big, you know. If you're dreaming lack and despair, like that's what you'll create. So dream big.
So I always say, dream big or go home. That's my little cliche. So it's also healthy and perfectly human to have a little bit of doubt. We talked about that doubt can squash your dreams. You don't want it to end there, though. Yes, we have doubt. It's how we make progress and stay in touch with reality. Your doubts may signal a niggling problem that needs to be addressed. Now, I read something with Richard Branson, which actually inspired this session this week. We've been talking about dreaming for a while now, Charmaine, because what we're going through at the moment, we want dreamers, we want people to gather and inspire the world positively and have some, you know, big ideas and focus on the bigger picture. So, you know, we've been talking about this, but Richard Branson inspired me, and I just want to share his example, because, you know, if it's niggling, it needs to be addressed. If you demand proof from your doubt, so, you know, it's when you doubt something, why are you doubting it? You want to ask why, and you'll be able to either squash it or solve this problem. Either way, your dreams and ideas will be better for it. So Richard Branson will give it as an example, because, you know, I actually think he's done a lot when you think where he's come from. Very successful. The day after his team launched Virgin Atlantic, the bank manager came to his house. I can read this out confidently because it's out in the public. The bank manager came to his house and threatened to shut them down. Richard managed to get him out of the door and brought his team together to find a solution. So it was a very sweaty moment, he recalls, but he didn't let doubt creep in. He didn't have time to think about that. It was like, I need to, save my people and save my business. So he and his team quickly fixed the issue. If things really start to get you down, his advice would be to step outside. And that's what he did with his bank manager. Outside, okay, and then get focused. And then he went and got the team together, and they all collectively fixed the issue and come up with a solution. So I know myself, if I have this idea and I think, where's this going? Is it something I'm just going to shelve for a while, or is this something a part of what I'm doing, or where is it going to fit right now? Because, I do this. This is my daily ritual. I come up with many ideas, but some of them I do need to just shelve because I could just be an ideas person. I wake up with ideas. If things really start to get you down, though, step outside, get some fresh air and have a cup of tea. Simple as that. I always say best conversations and best solutions come out of it over a cup of tea.
Yeah. It's
whenever doubt starts to get the better of me anyway. So I find exercise helps. I don't know. Some people find showers. I'll get on my bike. There's some downtime you can have with your family. Best ideas come to you through people, like-minded people, or dreamers. Yeah.
I guess what we're talking about here is when that happens because you're getting out of your head. Like even in Men in Black, the movie, they go and have cake. I don't know if you've seen Men in Black, but when they can't figure out their problem, they need cake. And it's because you stop thinking about it, and that's when all the good stuff comes, you allow. So I think that's what we're talking about there, getting out of your head for a moment. And we've talked about this before in other series, that we can sometimes be the obstacle in our own way that's blocking us from achieving our dreams. So by getting out of our own way, by exercising, like Karen said, or dropping from your head into your heart, which we've done as well in another series. Stop thinking for a minute and just allow. So if we're thinking less, and therefore we're allowing more and enabling and clearing a path and space for our dreams to manifest. And touching on doubt as well, what you said before, I mean, that's a huge one. Like that can hinder our dreams from becoming a reality. So when doubt does creep in, just as we said, it is shining a light. It's shining a light on areas of our psyche that may need healing or aligning first before we can move forward efficiently in the pursuit of this dream. So if this dream is huge, and something in our head says, oh, I don't know about that, it means you're not quite believing in yourself, enough yet to align with this dream. So if you can say, oh, that's doubt I have there, and work on that doubt instead of feeding the doubt, work on relieving the doubt so you can align with that dream. So we may need to stop believing a limiting thought about ourselves or the dream, like an old reality that's holding us back, that we could never do that much, we would, it's out of our league, all that kind of stuff is going to pop up when you're trying to do something big. So before we can truly believe in and manifest our new one, sometimes we might need to let go of those little niggling doubts, which is our psychic, and it's just bringing us up. So more than give attention to it, just address it and let it go if you really want to move forward.
Yeah, that's massive. And really you're taking up a lot of space with all of that stuff, when you're starting to worry or not be able to action any of your ideas,
interference,
and allowing doubt. It's
yeah,
and it's frustrating. I remember doing it a lot. I just wouldn't believe in myself. I'd have an idea and I'd go, well, who am I to put that out there? Or who am I, like even writing my book, who's going to want to read my book? Or who's going to be interested in what I've got to say? And it's like, there are people out there that need this. Just get it out there and just shut up, basically.
And you can also see it as I get it all the time as well. Where you just have that little voice just saying, am I even good enough to do this? And that's just a hurdle, like it's like the Olympics, it's those hurdles, and just run at it, don't hesitate, because then you won't make the hurdle. So just say, this is a little bit of fear here, but I'm just going to run at it. And I am, just believe in yourself.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
give yourself a little pep
Wholeheartedly.
talk.
Yes, it's just, you have to do it.
Yeah.
You have to. Everybody has got a great story, or they've got a great idea, a product, a service, whatever it is. If it's your business, or you just want to launch something, a not-for-profit, like we did with Fun Farm, just do it. If I can offer any advice. And if you feel stuck, talk to other people. There are people going to be around you as soon as you get this idea that will be interested in helping you. Talk to
No,
them.
we all feel this. We've all felt this, and we all feel this all the time. And that's how you know you're almost there. So you got to push that and break through that boundary. So that's the little boundary that's stopping you from getting there. So when you reach that, you just keep going and know that we all feel this.
We do.
So,
even this TV show for us, Charmaine, it's a big deal. We're probably sitting here, maybe, no, that's probably being a bit negative, talking to nobody. But, we're just putting it out there, because if we get one person and one person hears something that just seals the deal for something that they're going through, they know they're not alone.
Yeah.
There's so much, it's about hope and faith and dreaming.
Yeah. We're putting our vulnerability out there, and we're getting the feedback, and hopefully inspiring others to put their vulnerability out there and just know they're not alone, especially right now.
Yes, this is the time.
Yeah.
We need some good vibes happening, baby.
And you might be thinking that, now is not the time to dream big. That might be selfish and everything. But when we talk about dreams, it mightn't just be a project of your own. It might be a dream to heal the world, or bring the world together, or just meditate or whatever. So don't think any dream it's not the time. It's more the time now than ever.
Yeah, more than ever now.
Yes, for sure.
We don't want to get
the whole world is suffering. I can't be dreaming about this. It's super important that you do.
Yes.
Right now.
All together, collectively, globally, project, instead of being fixated on one thing, let's just turn this around. So I was actually just going to touch on some, ways to turn your big dreams into reality. So I made a few notes here. So believe it to start with. And we talked about that. To achieve a big dream, you need to believe in yourself.
Number one.
And it sounds simple, but so many people pursue a dream they feel is too big or is really just unachievable. So the very first step to achieving your big dream is believing that it's possible.
Yeah. Well, they'll say the affirmations, Karen. And
yes.
People will read them, but you'll ask, do you believe that's true? And they go, oh, probably not. But they read them, but they're not believing. So it's blocking, It's
blocking, yes.
Yeah.
So get unblocked, whatever it takes. There are a lot of people out there that can unblock, and Charmaine is one of them. And you can read my book, Reclaim Your Life, and that can give you some tips and tricks as well. So back on to, daily actions, because actually I do talk about that in my book, daily habits, creating new habits and stacking those habits. So it's creating new habits, because we get really into, we do some habits really well, like brushing our teeth, we'd like to think, but then others we skip over because we don't make it important. And it's usually about us.
Yeah.
We're spending a bit of time on us. So daily actions, get them going, and some really good ones that make you feel good every day you wake up.
Whatever you practice, you get good at. So make sure you practice things you're wanting to achieve, not practice it at thinking negatively, because you'll get good at that too if you keep practicing it.
Yeah. Wherever the energy goes, is it?
Yeah, where intention goes, energy flows.
Put a time frame on this as well. I have my diary set up, and I'm not saying I do this every day, so I'm honest. I have certain things I do, and I color code them. Maybe you could say that's anal, but put a time on when you're going to do things. So think about what your day looks like right now. You got a lot of time on your hands, so put a time frame to it and start delivering with these daily habits for yourself to get yourself in a different frame of mind each and every day, and dream big and vividly. Before you go to sleep, say, I want to dream big and vividly, and I want to wake up feeling invigorated and jump out of bed, and then I'll start my new habits. I might start with 1, 2, and then, add to them, and you got new habits and your mindset starts, you just come alive.
Yeah. Well, most people they've set the time of day for their work and their kids and their husband and their shopping and the stuff.
Yeah.
We're talking about setting a little piece of the pie, 20 minutes a day or whatever, for this dream of yours where you want your future to be, because you need balance. So if you're setting precious time to all these things, you need to set precious time to this as well every day.
Important.
Don't put it on the back burner.
And remember, it's for you. This is for you. So make it real by imagining what it would feel like to achieve it. Just take that bit of time, a few minutes a day.
Mm-hmm.
What would your life be like as a result of it? How would you feel every day? I feel alive every day, Charmaine. I'm so glad I feel alive. I love being alive on this planet in a physical sense. Ignore the naysayers, honestly. Usually they're just jealous. They want what you've got. Encourage them, but ignore them.
They're there to test if you are really genuine. Like, are you going to sell out at their thoughts, or if you're genuine in this dream, they'll test you, but they,
Yeah, and that's right. That's going to happen. And this is why people tend to, and I know myself, I would shy away from something. So I think, somebody's going to challenge me at this. And then at some point I went, bring it on, baby.
Yeah.
So whenever you pursue a big dream, there'll always be naysayers, because you're starting to put yourself out there. Yep. And who will tell you people will tell you it can't be done. It's been tried and tested before, and it can't be done. And they might be your friends and family. But
so many of those stories.
But just because you hold them dear to your heart doesn't mean they're right.
Yeah.
And, I've got my family that'll say, you've got your dreams, Karen, I got my dreams. And we have this great relationship where we agree to disagree.
It doesn't possibly mean they don't love you if they disagree with you, and vice versa. So just keep going.
That's just crazy, really, isn't it? We're all individuals. So we have our own unique individual drives and motivations. So achieve your big dream. Share your dream. So this is where it becomes a little bit vulnerable. Share your dream with others, and don't keep your dream locked away, because that just would not be fair. You're withholding information, remember. Not everybody will get on board. There'll be those that will, and those that can be a huge help in you achieving, which I talked about earlier. Find the like-minded people around you that are going to support you. I did that with Fun Farm. I spoke to my business partner, and then it just, from there, it just opened up and grew legs. And before we knew it, the business was there, and people were coming on board, and now it's mass. Yeah. So, you just need to keep yourself motivated and inspired. That's the key thing. So find how you do that. Drop your expectations. That's an interesting one. It's tough not to have expectations when you're working towards a big dream. After all, your vision of the future with its implicit expectations is what is guiding you. The thing is, though, there are so many twists and turns on the way.
Yeah, don't fear the failure, little failures along the way, for sure.
That's right. There's going to be traps there. I've seen them all, and I haven't seen them all yet. Nobody don't see them all, but I've experienced that through Fun Farm. There have been traps because I'd never done anything like this before. But collectively, as a group, we pick up and we soldier on, and we, sort through them and go up. Another thing we've learned, it's not
fail forward.
Fail forward. So drop your expectations, set yourself free to pursue your big dream without the weight of disappointment and what you just talked about, the fear of failure.
Yeah, because failures helps you move forward faster.
And things don't always go according to plan, right?
No.
Adopt an inevitability mindset. Is all about knowing that it is just a matter of time before you're going to achieve it.
Yeah,
it will happen if you stay with it.
Yeah,
and don't go down that scared, fail,
doubt. Yeah,
doubt, fear.
It's all about believing, isn't it? Still,
it's because it's not about if, it's about when, and that's what you say. It's not about if, it's about when. When you work with an inevitability mindset, you will succeed.
Yeah,
it's imminent, and your drive and motivation and work will reflect it.
Yeah,
it's amazing. So that's powerful because there's a potential to shift your whole perspective. So if you take something on, you dream something big, your perspective will change. It's the rewiring of the brain. Your language will change. Your outlook to life will change. You'll feel a sense of purpose. You'll feel you've got something, you know, it's like a baby, you know, you've got something to work towards. We all need that.
Yeah.
You need to make room for that dream, Charmaine. Hey.
Yeah. No, that's great. Yeah. That's what we're getting up at the end, you know, like I think what Karen's talking about is like, you know, sort of remember to, you know, believe in it and know that it's coming. So you are rewiring your brain, you're programming your brain for this new future you're creating. So you want to feel with every sense and cell and in your mind and body that this dream has already happened, you know. So you're creating a memory, you're reprogramming, as Karen says, of your new future. And this is super powerful because as your mind creates a memory, even if it's a future memory, more importantly, then when your heart starts to believe it, that's when amazing things happen. Synchronicities, people come into your life because your mind believes it, and your mind creates it, but then your heart believes it. And when this happens, when your heart believes it's actually this memory is real, it actually manifests around you in so many ways. It actually starts to physically manifest into your reality. So when I say your thoughts and your words become things, that is your mind. So you're speaking it and thinking it into being, but it's the feeling, it's the emotion that gives your dreams wings. So, you know, that's the feeling that puts it out there and brings it back to you.
Yeah.
So and that's universal law.
It is universal law. And actually interesting, we'll have to wrap it up shortly, on a smaller scale. And this is what we talk about. It doesn't have to be massive. It doesn't have to be a project, massive project. It can start off small, depending on where you're at in your life. You know, I've had one of our support workers, he was loving plants, and it was helping nurture himself. And he's moving into his own place. And, you know, he's going, I can't afford a great deal of furniture. I want to get plants around me. I want to create some activities for people with disabilities to be able to come, and which Dylan did today, planted a pot plant, really sweet.
Oh, bless him.
But he said, I was like, I want to spend this much on this, this, and this. He walked straight into the store, had his mindset on what he wanted. And he just said, Karen, I was blown away with, I was getting chairs for $10, which were originally $80. And, you know, he was so excited. I could see within him, his project, his dream was to get his house set up for him. And he felt that he could come home and it was going to be an environment for people with disabilities to come and, you know, spend time there and do little activities. And just, he created this space for himself.
Yeah.
And this was like an add-on for when, you know, they come over for a couple of hours. So it was like that. It was a dream of his.
Yeah. Even it's a little tiny dream, like you just said. So even every time we go out, and me and my daughter go out, we'll say, okay, with this venture, this is just for today, I'm going to get a parking spot right out the front. We're going to walk in, find the best bargain, get everything we need for under $50, and maybe something else, you know, like, so this is what we need done, and this is what's going to happen. And you just, you know, you're manifesting it for yourself. And really fun stuff happens when you say, okay, instead of saying, oh, I'll probably never get a park, or it's probably going to be this and probably won't be that, like, just say, this is what's going to happen.
My grocery is going to cost me, I don't know.
Yeah. So that's you dreaming in a negative way, and you'll manifest that. So
why not have fun with it?
And happens, doesn't it?
Create a game. And we talked about this the last session. Create a game with this. Life is a game in that regard. You can create your manifest whatever it is you want.
Absolutely.
So just play it on a smaller scale. Start off small, like Charmaine. Here's a suggestion for you. Go out, here's your homework, and say, you know, something that you've been thinking about going out and buying. Visualize what you want to spend on it, you know, the most you want to spend. So it might just be, I want a desk and I only want to spend $100 on it, or whatever it is.
Well, here's a fun example. So, you know, my daughter wanted a label bikini from a surf shop, which would have, you know, cost probably about $89. And I said, well, you've only got $10. So I said, let's see if we can just go in here and see if we can find you a bikini for $10. And in the bargain box there was two tops for $5 each. Like, obviously she probably did need the bottom, but they both had $65 on each of them, down to $5 each. Probably because they're in a size that nobody fitted and all this kind of stuff. But with her $10, she
got what she
those
wanted.
2 bikinis, and I took a photo and gone, this is bargain, you know. But it was so weird. It was the exact $10 that she had, and they were really expensive bikinis.
So it's dreaming as if the dream has already happened. Yeah, have fun with it.
Awesome fun.
It is. It actually does start to manifest into reality.
Yeah.
And you touched on, Charmaine, and we'll finish up with thoughts and words become things, so the mind, but it's the feelings that gives you the dream wings. So that's the heartfelt emotions.
Yeah.
So that's universal law.
Love.
And it's mind-blowing.
And then inject it with love.
Yes, injected with love. On that note, babe, you got anything to add in? I think we've covered off quite a bit here, actually. I feel like I didn't think we'd get through to that level, but you know, there's so much more. And if you want me or want us to put the headings down in regards to dreaming big, we can certainly do that to create your reality.
Yeah. Or even if you want to suggest a topic.
Now. Yeah, suggest it. Yeah.
If you're, you know, let us know.
And we want dreamers. Come on board, dreamers.
Dreamers, you master creators out there. Let's get together.
Let's do it. We're going to create this global
Reconnection Project.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Much love.
Thanks, everybody out there. And much love to you, honey.
Thanks.
And
Karen.
we shall see you next week. We were a little bit late because we don't need to go into why, but it was just a family thing. And now it's all sorted and everybody's good. And which is all we
must have been for good reason. I'm sure there's someone watching.
Yeah, exactly.
We would have missed this morning.
We'll catch up soon anyway. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.